So, round 2 in Andreas 1v1 tournament. I'm Marshall. I'm joined by Mot. And
Hello. Hello.
Hello. In this game, we've got AndreasG in purple versus Annihilator in light blue. Andreas going vehicles first. Annihilator, meanwhile, going air first with air fabs. Very curious. I suppose he's banking on the idea that Andreas wouldn't be expecting an air first, and so he wants to get that early air fabber expand and exploit the fact that there's really not all that much metal on this planet, as you can see in picture there, for the purposes of the VOD, because on stream we went through it previously. But anyway, yeah, there's not a lot of metal on this planet, and Mark, you suggested that bots and pushing into the middle would be a good idea. If
Because if you're standing really close to the center, then there's a way to build down a factory, and if that's a bot factory, then you can harass the 4 mechs in the middle, and you can also switch to grenadiers and shoot grenades up the plateau of the enemy.
That's pretty neat. Anyone on the other side of the map there? Sorry, I was just the air fabbers starting to get their early expand out, hidden away nicely for the time being.
Scout on the way, slip just past the fighter. There's a perfect vision on the backside of the Annihilator's base.
Yeah, that's really good, because now we can see if there's any expansion up to the 3 metal, and also if there's any expansion out. The bomber does get taken down on that pass. I just saw you ping it there, and that's just what you mean by the fabricator pushing down.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So this is gonna be a thing. Andreas will have an easier time getting the center, I believe. But let's see how it's gonna go.
Yeah. I mean, Annihilator has got the docks force out there, but he just needs to hurry it up. Andreas switching up to a turret rather than continuing the bot factory. How curious.
Wow.
That's very curious.
Maybe he believes that he needs a third fast right now.
That bot factory is starting to decay, though.
Look, it's smart.
Yeah.
Excellent decision making.
Force of docks from Annihilator are now aware of the bot factory threat. Turret not quite in range.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Oh, he's making another.
Yeah. I think he might just be sacrificing this bot factory for the time being. There are a couple of fabs there now to assist it out. It's going to be very close indeed.
It's a nice meat shield though.
Yeah. And there it is. Does it have range for the last one? Yes. Very nice. Very nice allocation of fabricators and resources there. Meanwhile, in his base, he's got 2 air factories. I almost said 3, but that's just a spinner coming out. And 2 vehicles. So, like I said when we ran through it earlier, is that vehicles are going to be alright on this map because there's not too far for them to travel, and they will push your opponent back. And given the scarcity of metal, taking land control is going to be very, very important indeed.
Wow, Andreas just dodged the metal where the air fabber is just hovering over. Oh no, he's coming back with 1, and now he's taking it out.
Yeah, but now he is of course aware that that expansion is real, and he'll be looking to go and sort that out, and he is sending a couple of tanks over there now to do that. Thing is though, he hasn't got any bots, so he won't be doing it rapidly. He doesn't have the mobility on the field yet. The only factory he has is in the middle there, and that is just to secure those 4 mechs, or keep Annihilator focused on that middle area. But again, looking at the economies there though, Andreas a little bit below in metal, which isn't great, but of course he has been investing a lot in trying to get into that middle, and that's what we said earlier about having to control where you're investing your metal, and it's going to cause to neglect elsewhere. He is trying to expand around though, which is good. He's got a couple of extra ones around the back with some vehicle fabbers protected by spinners and tanks.
I personally think that he might have 2 little fabricators, because he now only has his 4th fabricator, and it's not even finished. The Annihilator's using 6 all the time.
I don't think it's too much. I think the reason Annihilator has so many fabricators is because he has so much metal at this point. And that early air fabricator really got him that early advantage with regards to build production, because those 4 mechs around the back have paid for themselves now. Even if they are going to go down, they're paying for themselves, and has allowed Annihilator to expand out the front a little bit. But when they do go down, it will turn around to Andreas' advantage. If they do go down, those ants are against time there. Back around the side though, we do see Andreas pushing out with his own commander. Very interesting to see that, especially considering it's not going through the metal. So yeah, Annihilator pushing out with his as well, obviously moving off the initial plateau in order to get the extra build area, and then threaten those sidebars as well.
I think he wants to deny the Annihilator to use docks to get on that ramp so that he can take the center 4 and maybe start making some grenadiers.
Yeah, that would be a really great win if he can get his commander that far forward. Of course, the thing is though, he does need to watch out for boombots if he's pushing this far forward against a heavy bot build. I did say it in the last game and I'll say it again now. See your ping there?
Yeah.
Both players
Docks
working on
and the
T2.
T2.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's gonna happen there, but it might be very bad for one of them.
Lovely pick up on a couple of those bumblebees there from Andreas, trading 2 hummingbirds in for 2 bumblebees. Really nice trade, meaning that metal site will stay alive. God, these spinners doing work though, protecting these forces around the place. Even though there's only, you know, 2 or 3 ants in each of these globs, that's good work to be able to defend those for as long as he is.
Those spinners definitely paid for themselves over and over.
Yeah. Fabricators coming out now in the middle. Interesting whether we'll see a combat fab, because there's a lot of wreckage to reclaim in the middle. There's so much metal from those docks wreckages. Both players T2s. Well, Annihilator's T2 is actually complete. I'm getting out Blue Hawks. Ooh, that could be nasty, because Blue Hawks will be able to fire up and onto plateaus, over the bars, and really put pressure on this forward commander from Andreas. But these Galata! These Galata though.
Wow.
The hummingbirds are just sitting there taking it all. Amazing. And there's the counter Galata, Andreas being scared away. His vehicle T2 though, slightly behind. He's not really rushing it up as much. I think when he realises Annihilator's finished his T2, he might want to actually, yeah, he just saw the Blue Hawk there and he's now going to back off with his commander. He doesn't want to hang around there any longer than he needs to. And he's probably going to get a few more fabricators possibly on that T2. Alternatively, hurry a bit more into the air game, but he's losing a window now because the T2 is out. The Blue Hawks are going to be able to push against those vehicles and kite them really nicely because of the range. It's just insane on those. In comes the air though. I think Andreas has the advantage in the air. Looking at the factory counts, you got 3 air plays. Oh, okay, against 2 air. Interesting. Well, 3 air there, but that factory's forward and only building bombers, but... Wow. Looking around though, Andrew's getting a nice few expansions around the back of the map there, as we can see. And Annihilator's couple of mechs that are still alive. The thing is now though, even if Andreas does raid those, the T2 is up, so the T2 eco possibilities do exist, although Annihilator refusing to go for fabricators. It looks as though he's going for an all-in, because there are a few units raiding the base there. They could be easily mopped up, but they are going to put pressure there on a few power gens. Annihilator stalling on his metal a bit, and this is where raiding those expansions are really going to start counting. Oh, the bombers! Can the bomber survive the docks? Can the bomber survive the docks? That's the question. The micro is furious. The micro is real. How long can these Blue Hawks survive? Down goes one, but it falls to Galata. Ooh. But that is good for Andreas. So he has managed to buy himself a bit of time to get that T2 vehicles up, and that's exactly what he needs. He needs to come in with the shellers and those levelers as well to be able to deal with these Blue Hawks. Slammers in the middle now, though, will be able to shut down this this bot factory very easily indeed. Grenadier, though, desperately trying to do something with that Slammer, but not quite managing it. And this is the thing with Annihilator when he goes T2. He seems to not bother just spamming a unit, but he seems to go with what he needs at the time, which is really good. So we went for the Blue Hawks first to push Andreas back, and then the Slammers to come in the middle and add some mobility and support this army. But now the levelers are out of the bag, and that's going to change things up a little bit for Annihilator here.
Yep, all of a sudden he has to face his T2 army in the face as well. But I think that if he's gonna switch to Blue Hawks again, he might have an edge for now.
Yeah. Ooh, but forces are encroaching on from Andreas now. Around the back there, we do see a few groups of units beginning to push in on the base. There was one from Annihilator that was pushing out, though. Should be able to counter-raid some expansions, but of course the ones from Annihilator here are going to meet a little bit of resistance from these turrets, and the Slammer can't quite get close enough without coming in range of those turrets. Does get picked off. Nice defensive placements there from Andreas, just enough to be able to support his own there. But this constant harass from Andreas on all sides, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because he's splitting his forces up so much that he's only really harassing and not making too much damage. And I feel as though if he focused his forces at this point, he could really push in now that he has the leveler support.
Radar is taken out.
That's quite... yeah. That's quite a good pick for this point in the game, because now, given that he is raiding from all sides, Andreas won't have that Annihilator, won't have that intel as to where the next one is going to be coming from. And, of course that's going to impede Annihilator a little bit, but as long as Annihilator's micro game is on point, then that'll be fine.
Nice expansion from Andreas. On the backside he's getting the 4, he's kind of trying to defend it, but he doesn't have that much.
Still trading in the air game. Annihilator falling behind in the air game yet again. Looking in the economy tab, 131 to 75 in the way of metal. Looking good for Annihilator. He does need to... for Andreas, sorry, I'm getting the names mixed up today, blimey. I need sleep! But Andreas, yeah, is looking good for him. He needs to get up a bit more power, though. Looking from his T2 vehicle factory there. Finally getting some fabricators. Is Annihilator doing the same? Not yet. So Annihilator's still not there with the T2 Eco, and I feel as though he needs it at this point now that he's lost all of his expansions bar his main base.
Yeah. I think he's still attempting to go for that all-in attack, but Andreas has so much right now. How can he make it work?
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is he doesn't have anti-air support apart from the Docks AA at this point. So if enough bombers get up, then Andreas will be able to swamp a fair bit of stuff. Keeps flying over Galata, though.
I see Annihilator is gonna reclaim massively. He just made 4 combat fabbers.
Yeah. That's looking good, actually.
All of the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
He has 1. He has 1.
Interesting that we don't see shellers yet. I suppose the levelers just outrange the bots usually, apart from, of course, the Blue Hawks. Needs to keep kiting that Blue Hawk. He's moving the Blue Hawk to the front of the army. He doesn't want to do that there with the levelers there. But this force here is really going to put... yeah, there's the GG concession from Annihilator.
Yeah.
Well played, Andreas.
Yeah, I think both players played really well.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that that level of bluff just got way too big.
You know, the problem right now are these levelers that are just flying off the production line, and the resources are there to support it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this might be actually GG.
Yeah.
It's 5 levelers and he's bringing his commander to the front. That's the worst response that you can do.
I think he's conceding there.
Nice Uber cannon. He's gonna live.
It's gonna be... Yeah, he's just about gonna do it. It's gonna be very close. He needs to pop off another good Uber cannon.
Actually impressive. He killed 5 levelers.
But he's got to back off before there's 3
level.
more. I think he's conceding the game though, moving his commander forward. Looking in the army tab then, 100 units to 52, so Annihilator pulling away a bit here now. He has the production, he has the economy for it, and Ace just didn't manage to expand and get out of his base fast enough.